values that I see coming home are hard work and kindness. And I see respect.
I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private and independent schools to bring you insights into school programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administration. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
So after COVID, we took a month off and we traveled to two different countries. And when we were in those two different continents, countries, and when we were traveling, we noticed that those places, rather than sitting back and making things easier post-COVID, they were kind of knuckling down and working twice as hard to try and make up for that lost time in the schools. And the schools that my girls were in, we have four children, two boys and two girls. The schools were kind of sitting back and helping the kids adjust to post-COVID and almost making things a little bit easier for them. So I had wanted to see what was out there for my kids that would reflect what we had just seen during our travels. So that's what made me start to look for a new school for the kids. And then a friend had seen some children out in the community that were wearing NCC hoodies, and they were very well behaved, well mannered, polite. And I honestly had not heard about Niagara Christian Collegiate. And so she had asked me about it. So we started to do some research. We found out that they had an open house. It's in Fort Erie, and we live in Niagara Falls, so I was a little bit hesitant about the drive and getting them there. But I thought there's no harm in them attending the open house, and they attended the open house, and both of them were blown away. They enjoyed the fact it seemed to be challenging. It seemed like the teachers are trying to push the kids. And then we found out that they had a busing system, so that made it more of a possibility for our kids to go there. Applying to the school was easy, and I really liked the process that they went through. That they looked at report cards. They needed character references from people that we didn't get to see. Like we didn't get to see what our friends had submitted about our children. So in terms of the process, that's how we got to NCC, through the open house. And our kids, as I said, I was on the fence up until they went to the open house. And when they came back, they were so happy, and just you could see that spark for learning come back for them. They really enjoyed the challenge. And our oldest was so excited because they did a math competition in the classroom, and she actually placed last, which hasn't happened for a really long time for her. And she was excited to be around these kids that were trying to do better, were trying to work harder. So it was a challenge for her that she hadn't seen for a while. So in terms of the process, it was filling in applications online, it was getting references. And I like the idea that they had done a similar screening process for other kids. So the first day we were waiting on our driveway, and the bus comes straight to our driveway to pick us up. And there were some high school kids in the car and in the bus, and I must admit I was a little bit worried about them traveling with high school kids. And you sit on edge the first day just to wonder, have I made the right decision? How are they going to feel about it? This is a big school for them. It's, all these new things. And when they came off the bus, they were laughing and giggling, and the high school kids had been chatting with them, and they were having a great time. And I think that the teachers welcomed them with open arms, and they felt welcome to the school. So the one joined in grade 8, and the other one joined in grade 6. So grade 6 is, it starts 6 to 12. So the grade 6 was starting with other kids, it was their first day as well. But the grade 8 was didn't feel like an outsider. She felt welcomed by the students. She said that they were really kind. She loves her teacher, loves her teacher. And both of them came home feeling challenged and almost renewed for learning. Like they were excited to be learning, and they were excited for the challenge that the school offered them. So I actually asked them this morning on my way out the door, and what they had said, the oldest had said that the teachers really look like they enjoy their jobs, like they really enjoy teaching. And she says there is like a one-on-one between the teacher and the student to make sure that they understand what is being taught. And it doesn't seem to stop at you had a great mark, well done. It was at the best that you could do. So she really likes that she feels like there's a bar that's set quite high. And both of my girls really enjoy trying to meet expectations. So for them, that's a big plus. They feel like the lessons are explained and they don't feel like they get left behind at all. If they have a question, the teacher takes the time to explain it to them. So when they come home, they're not really needing help with homework because they understood what was taught during the class. Like we don't feel like we need tutors. We don't feel like we have to have a parent sit with them. They seem to do all the work independently. So in the past, I felt like I had to help facilitate the homework, but I feel like everything has been explained so well in the classroom that we don't need to do that now. The oldest loves the facilities. It's on a really big, beautiful property right by the river. They've got soccer fields and they got really big gymnasium, and the cafeteria is very exciting for them because they haven't gone to school with a cafeteria before. And they like the way that the high school kids talk to the middle school kids. So there seemed to be like an interaction. And when they were on the bus ride home, they were telling jokes. And now they've got better at time management because they do give them a fair amount of homework to do. So sometimes they do the homework on the bus. And if they get stuck, they ask the high school kids, and the high school kids actually help them. So it doesn't seem to be like there's a separation. So I think the transition for the grade 8 to go to grade 9 is going to be so easy. And they said that the kids are really kind. The kids are really kind, they're inclusive, and I think that they celebrate each other's differences. And they if somebody does well in a sport, they are very willing to congratulate them or encourage them. I have one athletic daughter and one a little bit less athletic, but even when she tries, they celebrate the fact that she's trying. And so they really like the kids. They said the kids are kind. They like the facilities and the one-on-one between the teachers and the kids. That's the feedback I got this morning. It's not a competition within the kids, but it's like encouraging the kids to work to the best of their ability and what they are capable of. And I don't feel like they're trying to make things easy for them, which I do like. And I was starting to see that in other schools, that the curriculum seemed to be a little bit easier, or the tests seem to be easier. Whereas here, I don't think that there has been any adjustments made. If anything, that seems to be like, let's work together and see what we can do and work harder. I like the fact that there is a lot of extracurricular for them to do. I like that, so both girls had the opportunity to compete in a speaking competition with schools from Oakville all the way down to Smithville. Our oldest placed first, and that was wonderful. But what I do like about that speaking competition is they didn't do 3 months of preparation for it. It was kind of write your speech And next week we're going to present it in front of the class. So it seems to be teaching them time management skills, teaching them how to manage homework, teaching them to work to their full potential. Our other daughter, actually both girls have participated in a variety of extracurricular, basketball, badminton, soccer, and I can't remember what else, but it seems to be, and what I do like is the sportsmanship. I went to go and watch them when they were playing soccer and basketball, and they were congratulating the other team. They were encouraging each other when they missed a shot. It was a really great sense of community. I like the fact that they are also exposed to other cultures. They've got a lot of students from Asia. They got some students from Africa, and I love that they are able to celebrate these other cultures. So my daughter in grade 6, rather than doing a science fair project, they did a math fair project, and her topic was stocks and bonds. And I thought, how much can you learn about stocks and bonds in 2 weeks? But she came back. Her project really did blow me away. It was comprehensive, it was detailed, and she can tell you about the stock market now. And she's actually now got an interest in the stock market. And it seemed to be real life learning. So I do like that rather than just trying to duplicate another um, experiment that somebody else has done. So I like that idea of the math fair project. I was really impressed with the way that the teachers do genuinely seem to care about the kids. They don't seem to have lost that spark for teaching. Like, you can see that this is what they are passionate about, this is what they like to do. And I like the support that they have to offer for the kids. Theme is, I believe, let your light, something about shining, meeting your potential. And I like that. But I must admit, I'm not too familiar with what their motto is. But the values that I see coming home are hard work and kindness. And I see respect, which is not something that you see. And I've noticed that my kids come home, they're happier, they're challenged. And I can see that the values of the school align with what we have at home. They are working hard, they're learning, but they're also having fun at the same time. So it seems to be hard work and celebrating at the same time. It's not either or. So, the interesting thing is, so you've got these children from different countries. They had some children come up from Mexico and say in the boarding school, and the kids loved learning about the culture. I think with the kids is there really is a genuine love of learning. So there's a genuine love of curiosity. They were having independently. They were competing on dueling, no, some language program. And the kids outside of school were competing on a language program to see who could get the furthest ahead. And then there's other kids that have interest in learning a different language so that they can communicate with some of the boarding students. And the parents are involved with the kids, and the boarders are well taken care of. And I think that there's a really good sense of community. So it's not the type of school where you drop your kid off and there's no connection between you and the school. Like, you feel like you're part of the school. Every day we get on EDSB, we get a message of, what's happening in the school today. They've got this great program called EDSB that you can log on. You can check what your kids' marks are, what classes they're doing. And I'm not one to micromanage my kids, so I just periodically have a peek at what's happening, but I don't feel like I'm ever disconnected from the school. The parents that I've met are really kind, genuine people that are invested in their kids. And the kids actually don't just excel in the school, they excel in their extracurricular activities. So it seems to be that culture of doing the best that you can. And I find the kids that I've met have been well mannered. The parents are well mannered. So it seems to be, in terms of a typical family that goes there, as I said, the values of the school, I would say kind and hardworking. I think both girls have independently said that they've got much better at math, and they were really good at math to begin with. So I like that. The one won a speech competition. The other wrote an article that was mentioned, and she did well. I like that. I think that they like the challenge, that they like the opportunity. So, one thing for our oldest would be that she won the speech competition. She was really proud of that. But not only that, so she can't see depth. So, one of the pastors were helping her figure out how she could play badminton. So, rather than saying you have difficulty seeing depth, you have to sit on the side and watch everybody else play. Together, they came up with a strategy that she could hit make contact with the racket. So she's been playing, so she didn't, because she can't see depth, she wasn't sidelined, but they figured out a way to help her participate in what everybody else was doing. So I would say for her, she's excited that she got to play badminton. She feels like she's better at math, and she won the speech competition. Our second one, our daughter in grade 6, she is very proud of her math fair project. She wrote an article about it, which made her happy. She likes the group of friends that she's made. She really likes learning about the other cultures. And every day that they come home, there's a great story of something that they've learned from their friends, or a situation and the way it was handled. I think that they admire the way that things were handled. And it's the teachers are leading by example. The teachers are leading by example. So even from, they were telling me what they were impressed that they come to school, phones go in the basket. You don't touch the phone until the end of the day when the bell rings. So it's not like the kids are on their phone during lunch or recess or in between classes. They are actually communicating and forming authentic relationships with each other. They have the opportunity to run around if they wanted to during recess. There is nobody monitoring or micromanaging the way that they're using their time. There's that trust and that expectation that they're going to behave in a becoming manner. You know what? I love how organized they are. Every time I've had a conversation with the teacher or an administrator or the principal, if they've suggested that they're going to do something in the past, other schools that we've been at, they have good intentions, but they don't follow through. And I have found that they have, the one time I was brainstorming with one of the administrators, and everything that we had discussed was followed through with and then improved upon. And I love the fact that they're accessible. And I don't feel like the email responses come back, and they're always there when you need them. It is, I don't feel like I'm bothering them. I don't feel like I'm an inconvenience. I feel that if I need to speak to the principal, I can email him and he will get back to me. And I feel, I don't feel like I'm ever bothering anybody. And I feel like my children actually don't, are able to, they feel like the teachers are approachable. So I don't ever have to contact them. But sometimes if you do need to follow up, the response is quick, it's appropriate. We had a death of a close friend, and I had emailed the teachers to let them know, and immediately it was compassionate, it was understanding. They offered to pray for our family. They offered help if there was any way that we needed assistance, that they would be there for us. And you felt that they genuinely would be there for you. I think it's going to be an easy transition into high school because the high school kids are around there. I think that they're almost, the grade eights are definitely working at a high school level. So I feel like even my grade six she's doing 6 and 7 work. They are being challenged, and I haven't seen them be bored yet. So I find that the work is really challenging for them. And I like that. I found that was really hard to find. I find that the staff are kind, that they are compassionate, that they're doing what they love to do, not just because it's a job, but because it's a calling. I like the facilities. I like the way that when I walked on campus, the students greeted me. They had no idea who I was, and everybody seemed to be smiling. And when you walk onto campus, the kids seem happy to be there, and they're laughing and they're joking. But I'm walking down the pathway, and the children step to the side so that I can walk by. And I think manners are lost art. Like, not everybody has that. Like, and they're making eye contact and they're smiling smiling at you, which makes you feel welcome. So I can only imagine how it makes my children feel. So we have right now 8, 6, and then our boys will probably go there when they're at the age to go to grade 8. I like the way that the high school students are role models. I like the way that they're exposed to different cultures, and I like the way that they're being challenged. So to be quite candid, when I was searching for a place that would challenge my kids and not just sit back and say, let's make it easier for you, there is, for my family, there is peace and calm knowing that you've done the best that you can. And I found that at NCC, but I was hesitant to go there. I think when you're looking at a school, I would suggest that you go to the campus and you look at the kids, look at the children. How are the children interacting with each other? How are the children interacting with the teacher? Are the children happy when they're walking through campus? Are they sad? Are the kids sitting by themselves? The facilities don't, I think, give you an adequate feeling for what the school is like, because I think the most important thing is to see how are the children doing. And I think at NCC, what I like is that they're doing really well academically, and they're also doing really well in athletics. So it seems to be that there's a really good balance. And see how the kids, I get them to do a day at the school. See how your child interacts with the students that are already there. And get them to observe, how do the students interact with the teacher? Is there respect there, both from the teacher to the kids and the children to the teacher? That's really impressed us about NCC. But I would say tour the school, meet the teachers, see how the students interact on campus, and see if it's a good fit for your child.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.